Hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm Mark Janish. This is the December 30th, 2017 edition of the From the Bench podcast. I'm your host and founder of AccessMediaGlobal.com, Mark Janish. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, everyone, wherever you're listening. Welcome to those listening via Stitcher Radio and Libsyn. So welcome to those listeners on Libsyn and Stitcher. Wanted to go ahead and just wish everyone a happy new year. This is probably going to be my final podcast for 2017. It's been a tough year for me with a couple of hospitalizations, but we're almost done with the site upgrade. A couple things we want to do with the international page, but the soccer page and the NHL page have been revamped. We also have a minor league baseball U.S. page and some favorite sites in the football section as well. So enjoy the upgraded site with RSS feeds and all the latest news. After the holiday break here, want to get back up and rolling and just let you know that tonight we have a couple of games that I'll have on-air audio links for you. That'll be the UC Santa Barbara Gauchos returning home against Pacific Union, an NAIA school of 1,500 in the Napa Valley area of California. They're going to be playing in their final preseason tune-up. The Gauchos, 15th ranked in the latest collegeinsider.com poll for mid-majors at 15 from 22nd last week. Have no problem scoring, but one of the things that I noticed during one of the last games they played, I believe it was December 17th, against the USC Trojans, they need to play some defense. I'd like to see UC Santa Barbara pick it up. This is the best start for UC Santa Barbara since 2007, 2008, under Bob Williams, first-year coach. Joe Pasternak doing an awesome job getting everybody involved and getting everybody to buy into his system. The UC Santa Barbara Gauchos were picked 6th in the Big West Conference. Want to go ahead and just continue to let you know you can listen to them tonight at ucsbgauchos.com. Pre-game is 6:45 p.m. Pacific time. Tip-off is at 7 o'clock. Leaders for UC Santa Barbara. They're scoring at a tremendous clip. Their scoring is not a problem for this team. They lead the Big West in field goal accuracy of 48.1%. That's 51st out of 351 D1 schools. The Gauchos are 26th nationally in three-point percentage at 40.2%. And that also leads the Big West Conference, the 19 conference. Sophomore guard, 6'2" sophomore guard, Max Heidegger leads the Big West in scoring and ranks 14th nationally at this time. He is at 22.5 points per game. His three-point percentage of 44.7% is 51st best in the country. So we'll be looking for UC Santa Barbara to finish up non-conference play tonight. Once again, you can listen to that game with the audio link at ucsbgauchos.com. I'm going to be providing that, but also wanted to touch on another game that's going to be going on almost simultaneously to that. That's the NAIA Santa Barbara, California representative Westmont College playing Antelope Valley at Murchison Gym on the campus of Westmont. And John Moore just beat Alberta to reach 500 career victories. So he's definitely in the upper echelon of coaching at that particular school, which is always in the discussion for the Golden State Athletic Conference title and will be again this year, assuming they continue to play well. One other thing I wanted to touch on during this podcast is the need and the desire for the NFL odds. Wanted to share those with you. Now, key for the odds, one of the things I wanted to share with you is for those of you that are going to places like Las Vegas or Laughlin, Nevada, or anything like that, make sure if you bet the money line, you go ahead and you inform the person receiving those bets that you're betting the money line. Also, it's probably going to be easier for you if you bet the money line and don't take the over-under necessarily. I happen to be partial to the over, but that can sometimes get you in a little bit of trouble. So I'm going to give you my picks. I like doing it, and we'll continue to do so, but I just wanted to share that with you as far as that goes. I want to also share with you some local sports in some girls soccer. Santa Paula beat Santa Barbara. Road loss for the to the Cardinals, the Santa Paula Cardinals, since November. Santa Barbara got on the board with a Sophia Capoletti goal off Hayden Randolph assist, but Santa Paula scored 3 second-half goals. So Santa Barbara falling to Santa Paula 3-1. Tournament host Santa Barbara scored a 65-51 victory over Flint Ridge Prep in its pool play finale at Westlake High School. Santa Barbara improved to 5-0. This is boys basketball after trailing 25-24 at the half. Santa Barbara High School will face Thousand Oaks today at 1:30 p.m. That's just over an hour from now at Westlake. Bishop Diego lost to Apple Valley 65-56 despite Dillon Street's 15 points. Luis Mendez added 10 points for the Bishop Diego Cardinal. In girls water polo, Dos Pueblos 15, the Bishop School 7. DP 7-1, charged out to a 13-2 halftime lead and made that stick against visiting Bishops. Sophomore Sabina Shackelford and senior Ryan Neuschel led the Chargers with 3 goals each, and juniors Kayla Peacock and Abby Hill scored 2 apiece. Sophomores Anna Cable had 7 saves and a goal, while Thea Neuschel, Olivia Kistler, Chloe Pena, and Shannon Connolly had 1 goal apiece. Grace Raisin and Abigail Hendricks had 3 goals each for Santa Barbara in a non-league win, continuing with the water polo scores, while Alex Semanchek scored a go-ahead goal with 2:30 to play. Faith Tedesco made 11 saves for the Dons in a defeat, while Jordan Dugan had a goal and 2 steals. Laguna Beach 13, Santa Barbara 2. Turnovers hurt the local Santa Barbara City College, taking it out of the Cuesta tournament in a lopsided 72-52 loss to 6th-ranked Merced College. Santa Barbara City College 7-7. Basketball outshot 40 to 32% and out-rebounded 55-43 Merced by Merced, but yielded 38 turnovers to the Blue Devils 12. This led to 33 more shot attempts for Merced, 88-55. So we see in this game the Santa Barbara City College Vaqueros made too many mistakes to win. Obviously, Merced College took advantage of that. Sophomore forward Diamond Alexander led Santa Barbara City College with 12 points and 8 rebounds. Aaliyah Pauling had 8 points and 7 rebounds, while Lauren Noble pitched in with 7 points and a team high 12 rebounds. So that gives you local flavor in some of the local Santa Barbara, California area sports. Wanted to go ahead and just look at the top of the table in the English Premier League. Want to also let you know that the soccer page does cover the Premier League, FIFA, Bundesliga, and Series A soccer. And the Premier League teams that we have constant coverage of based on the Twitter feeds. That would be Man City, Man United, Chelsea, and Arsenal. As I look at the top of the table for the English Premier League this afternoon, Man City, 19 wins, 1 loss, 19 wins, 1 draw, and no losses for 58 points. Man United behind them at 43 points. 58 points for Man City, 43 for Man United. Third place, Chelsea. 13 victories, 3 draws, and 4 losses for 42 points. Put them right behind Man United. And then, of course, in the top 4, we have Liverpool, 10, 8, and 2 for 38 points. And then Tottenham and Arsenal with 37 points each. Burnley follows Arsenal at 33. But you're welcome to go ahead and go to the RSS feed. There's over 168 posts a week there. Happy to have that soccer availability for you. as the World Cup approaches. I haven't really chosen a team that I feel would be supportable. Right now, there's about 3 teams that I'm thinking about, among them Germany, Spain, and possibly another team, maybe Norway at this particular point. But I'm looking for an exciting World Cup. Don't forget the Pyeongchang Olympics. We're going to try to get an international RSS feed up, but right now we have an international page with South Korean sports headlines. You can go ahead and see that. It's arranged by country. Just click on the links, and you're in to look at what other sports headlines around the world and in other countries portend. So one of the things I'm going to say before I get into my picks for the Week 17, this is going to be a strange week because we're going to see a lot of second and third tier players because a lot of the starters will be resting, especially for those that have already made the playoffs out of the AFC. That would be like Pittsburgh, New England, Jacksonville, and so forth out of the AFC. In the NFC, the Rams, the Minnesota Vikings will be resting guys. The New Orleans Saints will be resting guys. And the only teams really that have a shot at the number 6 slot in the playoffs would be like Atlanta and Seattle. That'll be a key matchup. The Carolina Panthers will be playing a divisional game against Atlanta Sunday. And the Seahawks will be finishing up the season with the Arizona Cardinals. One other thing to note, the NFL did not want any meaningless games to be played. So they scheduled everybody in the 10 o'clock a.m. Pacific time window, or if you're on the East Coast of the United States, the 1 o'clock window. And then, of course, the 4 o'clock window, or on the West Coast, it would be the 1 o'clock window, 1:25 to be exact. So I'm going to go over some picks for the NFL. The Chargers, they are going to be playing Oakland. This is a key game for the Chargers. They do have a shot at the playoffs. I think the Titans have to lose, and the Ravens have to lose as well. The Ravens have to win, the Titans have to lose, something along that line. So we will see what happens with the Chargers and Anthony Lynn. Right now, the line is 7. The over-under is 42. The underdog is Oakland. I'd probably go ahead and I take the under at 42. The San Francisco 49ers are going to be playing the Rams. Now, Jimmy Garoppolo is looking every bit like Tom Brady. He is the second quarterback since Ben Roethlisberger. That's the name I was looking for. Ben Roethlisberger to go start off the season 6-0. Right now, if we look at that, though, the Niners are favored by 3. The over-under is 43.5. Aaron Donald will not play. Jared Goff is not going to play. Sean Mannion, backup out of Oregon State University from the days of yore, will be starting in place of the Rams' Jared Goff. The over-under here is 43.5. I'd probably go ahead and take the over. Rarely in this case. The next game I have is Detroit and Green Bay. This is a meaningless game for both teams. 6.5 right now is the line, open at 7.5. The over-under is 43.5. Take the over at Detroit. Indianapolis and Houston. 3.5 was the open. 6 is the spread today. 40.5 is the over-under. I'll probably go ahead and take the under at 40.5. Minnesota and the Jets. 11.5 open. 12 now. Over-under 39. We have the Minnesota Vikings with nothing to play for, playing against Mitchell Trubisky and the Chicago Bears. Over-under is 39. Take the under and Minnesota in this game. New England, 16.5 favorites to open. 15.5 now. The over-under is 43.5. They're going to be playing the Jets. I guess I'm going to see that game locally on my television. 43.5 is the over-under. Take the over and the New England Patriots at 43.5. Washington and the Giants in a game of also-rans. The over-under is 39.5. The line is 3. Continues to remain at 3. I go ahead and I take the Washington Redskins and the over at 39.5. Dallas playing at Philadelphia. I go ahead and probably go ahead and take the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm not happy with the offense last week in a 19-10 win, barely, to the hapless Oakland Raiders. 19-10. If you saw that game on nationwide TV, it was not the most stellar that I've seen in quite some time. So we have Dallas and Philadelphia. Go ahead and take Philadelphia and the under at 39. Pittsburgh and Cleveland. Go ahead and take Pittsburgh. The line is 6.5 now. The over-under is 36.5. Go ahead and take the under 36.5 and Pittsburgh in this case. Atlanta and Carolina that I mentioned earlier. Carolina has dominated the series in the last few games. Go ahead and take the Carolina Panthers in this game. The line here is, just a moment, 3.5. The over-under is 44.5. Take Carolina and the over at 44.5. Buffalo, 2.5 point favorites at Miami. Miami, in what could probably be the last year for Jay Cutler, in the sense that he only signed a one-year contract so far, has not renewed, has not indicated whether he will be back. I would go ahead and I would take the Buffalo Bills, and the over-under in this case is 42.5. I go ahead and take the under at 42.5. New Orleans at Tampa Bay. 49.5 is the over-under. The line right now is 6.5. Go ahead and take the under at 49.5. Tennessee and Jacksonville. The line has moved from 6 to 3. 41.5 is the over-under. I'd probably go ahead and take the under in this game. Jacksonville's already qualified for the playoffs, as I said earlier. There's probably guys that are going to be rested on many, many teams this week, so you're going to see a lot of second and third tier guys. Go ahead and take Jacksonville and the under at Tennessee. Baltimore and Cincinnati, and what will probably be Marvin Lewis's, looks like his last game, as he has announced. He's going to be seeking some other opportunities, to the relief of many in Cincinnati, Ohio, the Queen City. That is Baltimore favored by 10. The line continues to be at 10. The over-under is 40. I'd go ahead and take the over in this case. 10's a lot of the spread. I don't know if I stay with that spread. Many of you bet spreads. I bet the money line in Vegas at this point, which I explained to you a little bit earlier. But I want to go ahead and just continue with these last couple of games here. Seattle and Arizona. The line has moved from 7 to 9.5. The over-under is 39. Take the over and the Seahawks with incentive to make the playoffs, assuming Atlanta loses. If Atlanta loses and the Seahawks win, then the Seahawks are in at 10-6. And finally, Denver and Kansas City. This is Kansas City's already qualified for the playoffs. The over-under is 38. The line is 3.5. It's moved by a half point. Go ahead, and we want to have you probably take Denver at this point. Like I said, I don't expect Kansas City to be motivated because they've already actually qualified for the playoffs. So that should go ahead and just wrap up this portion of the podcast for you. Once again, I'm Mark Janish. Want to go ahead and thank you guys for listening in 2017. You can go to the Contact Me page at accessmediaglobal.com. That's an opportunity for you to reach out if you'd like. Hopefully you've enjoyed the upgrades that we've done with the website. Want to continue to keep things exciting and good. And also wanted to just let you guys know that I know that many of you might be going through some hard things right now. And just remember that these circumstances are just circumstances. Don't let those circumstances overwhelm you, whether they be physical, mental, emotional, or financial, whatever they may be. I know that it's a labor of love to be behind the microphone and to do the podcast and to maintain accessmediaglobal.com. My thanks for good work by Gabe Pereira, Gold Social Media of Santa Barbara. You can go to his website, Gold Social Media, and you'll be able to see the services that he offers if anyone would be so willing to go ahead and do that. Want to thank him for the help with redesign. Want to thank you guys for listening. For accessmediaglobal.com, I'm Mark Janish, host, founder, creator of Access Media Global. I want to give you a different regional take on sports. You have a great evening, everyone, and a great day, and a happy new year. We'll be back Monday, the 2nd of January, to discuss some NFL playoffs. We're going to discuss some more NBA playoffs. Blake Griffin just returned after a 14-game absence yesterday. 121-106 victory for the Clippers over the Lakers. We have some Golden Knights NHL posts that you might be interested in. We're going to get those links up for Westmont College basketball and UC Santa Barbara basketball tonight. 7:30 at Murchison Gym, courtesy of AM 1290 Santa Barbara. Also, UCSBGauchos.com. Pregame is 6:45. Tip-off is at 7:30 against Pacific Union. NAIA school, once again, out of Napa Valley, California. School of 1,500 in what looks to be a promising season for first-year coach Joe Pasternak and the UC Santa Barbara Gauchos. For Access Media Global, I'm Mark Janish. Thanking you for your time. God bless you. God keep you. And we'll see you on Monday, January 2nd, 2018, God willing, and if the creek doesn't rise. Good afternoon, everyone. Have a great evening.